Well, the Department of Justice has just given America a big Christmas present, and that is that they have finally admitted that there were, in fact, confidential human sources, aka FBI informants, at the January 6th riots. You know what's weird is this is exactly what I said all along. And for all this time, the likes of Christopher Wray and others refused to admit that to our congressional leaders. And bang, now we have this little package. And before I tell you what happened just prior to that, I want to get into the details because the truth of the matter is what happened prior is kind of like a key to everything. But take a look. Let's start first with this on Fox News. And it's DOJ IG reveals 26 FBI informants were present on January 6. It goes on. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz said there were more than 24 confidential human sources, or CHSs, in the crowd outside the Capitol on January 6, 2021. But only 3 were assigned by the FBI to be present for that event, while stressing that none of the sources were authorized or directed by the Bureau to break the law or encourage others to commit illegal acts, Fox News has learned. So, according to the Justice Department, hey, we only directed 3 of them to be there, but hey, there was 26 in total. But quite frankly, I don't believe much of what the DOJ or the FBI says because they've been lying to us for so long. But what's interesting is the breakdown of the 26, like who went inside the Capitol, who went on the grounds you weren't supposed to trespass on, and what exactly happened, right? We all know this was a Fedsurrection, in my opinion. But anyway, before I dive into that, just a quick break from my sponsor. Well, I've got a bad habit that I want to confess to you guys, and that is that I love to eat food. I mean, if food is laying around, especially during the holiday season, I will nitpick at it until it is gone. That is why I have now sponsored with Fume. This thing has really helped me combat my own personal habits that I have and kind of fight those. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this, it's a flavored air device, and it's perfect right now for anybody who is looking to kind of kick those bad habits. In fact, there's no battery, no vape, and nothing to charge. It's safe and easy to use anywhere, and it looks amazing. If you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to tryfume.com/Lisa Haven. In fact, I'm also going to throw up this scan code. You can use your cell phone to scan that. And right now, if you use the coupon code Lisa Haven, you are going to get a free Fume topper when you order the Journey Pack. So make sure you check it out, tryfume.com/Lisa Haven, or scan that code right now. If you want more information, click the link in the description box below as well. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive into the report put together by the Department of Injustice, because that's really what they are, regarding the entire event there at January 6th and the confidential human sources. And here it is, a review of the FBI's handling of its confidential human sources and intelligence collection efforts in the lead up to January 6th electoral certification, right? And you could see published just December 2024, just in time for Donald Trump to get into office, because they knew, by the way, that Kash Patel would likely bring attention to this. So they're kind of getting ahead of the game-ish, and they didn't want Kash Patel to do the investigation and change it. Why? And that's the other thing. See, that's one thing everybody missed, is if they waited a little bit and let Kash Patel find a little more information on it, I think we could have gotten a more real picture of what happened. But either way, back to this document here, I'm kind of sidetracking. But if you scroll down to page 5, they have a very important point there, and it's highlighted at the top. It says, we determined that of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on January 6 in connection with the events of January 6, 4 of them entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol, which was a security perimeter established in preparation for the January 6 electoral certification. And 9 neither entered the restricted area nor entered the Capitol or otherwise engaged in illegal activity. None of the CHSs who entered the Capitol or a restricted area have been prosecuted to date. Huge. So here's the thing, right? So we have all these January 6ers out there right now, and they have been in jail. Some of them currently still in jail for an insurrection that wasn't. And simply, many of them have been charged for trespassing on the grounds and going into the Capitol. My question is, why the hell weren't these CHSs, these confidential human sources, charged like the rest of January 6th? They broke the law. What they did was illegal. I don't care. And a good question would be, were they engaged in entrapment? Because I feel like that could definitely be something that should be looked into. Note to Kash Patel, right? But here we have 4 entered the Capitol. Not one of them have been charged. 13 entered restricted grounds. Not one of them have been charged. No, that is reserved only for certain people who don't bend a knee to the globalist and international community. I'm the IC intelligence community. That's BS. Absolute BS. In fact, everything they have been telling us is BS. In fact, they even refunded and gave money back to one of these CHSs, and that's actually on page 77 of the report if you scroll down to the bottom there. As previously noted, we also found that another CHS who was not tasked with being in D.C. on January 6th, he wasn't supposed to go there, entered the Capitol. And after January 6th, provided information to the CHS field office, including video footage from inside the Capitol. The field office provided this information to WFO, which subsequently asked the field office to task the CHS with attending the inauguration. The CHS attended the inauguration and was reimbursed for their travel on January 6th and for the inauguration, even though the CHS was only tasked with attending the inauguration. Notice how they put that in a freaking footnote, by the way. Here's a little footnote. You can see down to that little section there. Oh, just a footnote. We gave them their money back even though they weren't supposed to be there. In your face, American people. This is why they are so very corrupt to the core. Look, they literally have lied about everything regarding January 6th, right? They lied about January 6th. They said it was an insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection. None of the protesters had illegal weapons. None of them were carrying illegal weapons. You don't have an insurrection without any weapons. I mean, that's insanity, right? It wasn't coordinated. There was no coordination, right? Oh, except by, there were a lot of feds there, but hey, there was no coordination. There was 26 undercover FBI sources, and some of them entered the Capitol and restricted areas, which is something I said all along, and they were refusing to admit that publicly. In fact, there's multiple records of Christopher Wray out there saying, oh, I don't know, we're not allowed to talk about that. Then they also tell us that none of these people have been prosecuted. No police were killed at the Capitol who the rioters had engaged with. None of them. In fact, there were 4 people who died, but they were all Trump supporters. We had Ashley Babbitt, we had Roseanne Boyle, Kevin Greason, and Ben Phillips who died. None of them were cops who died on January 6th. Trump did not call for violence, and they told us Trump did call for violence. He did not. He said enter peacefully and patriotically, and he also actually told the people not to be violent. The little shaman guy with the horns from here in Arizona, he wasn't trying to overthrow the government. They literally walked him in. The Capitol Police walked him into the main area there, and he said a prayer from the freaking pulpit. Right? Not only that, but the cops opened the doors for the protesters. There's video footage of that. Barriers were also moved to allow the protesters to go through. AOC, loudmouth little lady, was never in danger. Oh, in danger. No. And a lot of the January 6ers were denied due process, and I believe many were coerced into pleading guilty to have certain deals done. That's a lot of, oh my goodness. I tell you what, though, it is time for Donald Trump to go ahead and go forward and say, we are going to pardon January 6ers. And in fact, that's what he's promised to do. Take a look here. This is on NBC News. Trump will most likely pardon Capitol rioters on day 1 and says January 6 members should be jailed. And quite frankly, I agree. If the January 6 members actually tore up information and oh, we lost all this information. We destroyed it. That's a crime. It's illegal, and they should go to jail if that is what they did. We would go to jail for it. But back to kind of like the January 6th people, I do believe they should be pardoned. Because here's the question that I want to know, right? If these 26 confidential human sources were there, like they said they were, right? Then it's time to overturn the J6 convictions, because my question is, were these sources revealed in the hundreds of January 6 cases, or was it kept from these cases? Well, I don't really know the answer to that, but shouldn't we have an answer? And the bottom line about the pardoning of them, none of the people who did the Summer of Love, the BLM riots and the George Floyd riots, none of them were treated like January 6th, and none of them spent near the amount of time in jail as these people on January 6th did. So Trump said, absolutely pardon them, right? But here's the deal. Something happened just before the announcement that I think is a huge key, and that is the fact that Christopher Wray, which we knew it was coming, but he put in his resignation, and the timing is not coincidental, by the way. He resigns, and then bang, literally hours later, within the next day, the information comes out. That's not a coincidence. It's not at all, and I'll get into that. But take a look at this, and this is on the Washington Times. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he'll resign at the end of Biden's term next month. Now, I'm not going to get into his words and why he resigned, because I hate the guy, but I will tell you what Donald Trump said, and it's in that same article, and it says this, and I scroll down. Mr. Trump said Mr. Wray's resignation marks a great day for America, as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the United States Department of Injustice. He goes on, I just don't know what happened to him. We will now restore the rule of law for Americans. Under the leadership of Christopher Wray, the FBI illegally raided my home without cause, worked diligently on illegally impeaching and indicting me, has done everything else to interfere with the success and future of America, Mr. Trump wrote on his social media page. He said the FBI used its vast powers to threaten and destroy many innocent lives, American lives, some of which will never be able to recover from what has been done to them. Amen. The president-elect allotted Kash Patel as the most qualified nominee in history to lead the FBI. And a big fat amen. I am glad the guy is out of here. And he had a lot to do with Hillary Clinton and her, corrupt emails where she was sharing classified information on our private server. Oh, and she destroyed cell phones and information, but hey, they found no corruption there. That was all under Wray. He's corrupt to the very core. Get the hell out, man. He should go to jail for some of the stuff that has happened. But what's interesting, and this is the part that everyone missed, is just before he put in his resignation, he ignited a scheme and a plot, right? And the plot was try to usurp Kash Patel and basically usurp Kash Patel when he gets in. In other words, he's trying to delay everything that Kash Patel can do within the FBI. And actually, it's in that same article, because it's hidden in the Washington Times article, and you really have to read through it, but it's hidden in this article. I'm going to scroll down to that section here. And here's what it says about their actual plan, right? And this is Christopher Wray's plan. Sources within the Bureau said Mr. Wray has begun promoting employees among the senior executive service, those who serve within the Bureau's leadership. Those sources described this as an effort to burrow establishment figures deep within the FBI. Sources said a plan is being formulated to delay the new FBI director's entry into the agency for 3 to 4 months. Given the FBI's tense history with Mr. Trump since the 2016 presidential campaign, such a strategy is risky. So he is literally trying to burrow employees within the FBI by promoting them. Thus, as a result of that, Kash Patel could very well be delayed by 3 to 4 months. Imagine how much information can be hid or misconstrued or corrupted or destroyed by the FBI in that amount of time. In fact, if Christopher Wray's plan succeeds, this is really going to be Kash Patel is going to have trouble running the FBI effectively. And that was the goal. And that was the intent. And this happened just before the release of that 26 informants being exposed at January 6th. Why would he do that? The reason that he dropped that when he did, and right before he gave his resignation, is because he wanted to hide the fact of the little scheme that he's doing, where he is literally spreading around and burrowing people within the agency. He wants you to be distracted from that and focus on the 26 informants. And everybody did. Not a bad thing. And I think it's important that we focus on that too. But a lot of people missed the fact that he's trying to usurp Kash Patel and delay him from doing anything and limiting him from doing his job effectively at the FBI. Everyone missed it. Everyone missed it. It's absolute huge. Huge. By the way, if you want more information about what's going on, get to restrictedrepublic.com and check it out. Sign up there today. Justice Knight is putting an extended version of today's video. He's going to get really into the details of that document I showed you. So he's really going to dive in to the document, the FBI document. So check that out. Go to restrictedrepublic.com and check it out today. I really hope to see you there. And if you guys want a coupon code, it's in the description box below as well. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.